Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Portal LP. Portal is an Australian death metal act. They've been at it since the 90s and have a handful of albums under their belt to show for it. Over the years, the group has had about a dozen different members, many of them contributing and being members of other Australian extreme music acts as well. However, along with groups like Disembowelment, as well as Ne Obliviscaris, Destroyer 666, and Bellacore, Portal has kind of seen a rise to international metal fame. They're really one of the bigger underground Australian metal acts at the moment. But still, it's not like they're a major player in death metal in general, and I would say mostly that is because of how damn impenetrable the band's music is. They make easily some of the most chaotic and dense death metal I've heard in a while. Though the group at times is labeled as being technical death metal, I wouldn't say the playing that they showcase in their songs is overly flashy or anything like that. For the most part, what's going to stick out to you about Portal is just how muddy, thick, and just blood-caked their sound is, which has been a pretty consistent quality of theirs over the years. Albums like 2009's Swarth is not too far off from the original blueprint of death metal. The guitars are really grimy, the drums are extremely heavy, the death growls are in there as well, the chromatic chord changes are in there too. It's just that Portal likes to, I guess, sort of cover their songs in a noticeably larger amount of filth, rendering a lot of the details that they usually put into their tracks a little, I guess, inaudible. Because these guys do like to write a lot of different passages into a single track that could be around 3 to 5 minutes, making it difficult to get a bird's eye view of a song quickly or in a handful of listens. The band likes to kind of bombard the listener not only sonically with all these just heavy, distorted sounds, but I guess sort of musically with just all of these different ideas, making albums like Swarth kind of disorienting at times. But I just get this like stillness from the band's music that I would normally get from like an ambient music piece or a noise music piece. They're not really interested in rocking out. When I listen to a Portal track, especially on this new LP, I kind of feel like I'm being shoved into an Iron Maiden and the last thing I want to do is move. They don't really hit grooves, they don't have tension releasing cathartic riffs or anything like that. They're actually much more interested in experimenting, like the finishing track on here, Oblaten, which really kind of closes up shop with several minutes of just these tremoloed guitars dueling with nothing else in the mix other than maybe a little bit of bass to kind of back them up. And the introduction of the same song too has these sort of weird metallic wails going wee wee wee. Sounds like some kind of weird chilling sound effect from a horror movie. They don't really care as much about composing songs as they do just working with sounds, noises, and textures. Because a lot of the sounds on here, between the guitars and just the heavy muddy drums, they're really brutal, they're dismal, they're depressing, but when it comes to the opening guitar chords on this track Oblaten that I've been talking about, and these tremoloed melodies toward the end, pretty much everything that the band has written is a really standard death metal affair. I mean, disappointingly standard, very average. I actually think this album doesn't live up to the compositional standards of most genres, much less death metal. Like I said, the band tends to assemble all of these quick parts that they quickly switch out for other parts in a single track, but I mean, honestly, it's not like any of these single parts, in my opinion, are worth really dragging out as long as the band actually does. That's actually kind of a saving grace on this LP and what makes some of the songs on here engaging. Not many tracks hit me as being that great compositionally, except maybe the track Orbomorphia, where there was actually a gothic quality to the guitar leads, and especially the set of intervals that kind of hit in this long, drawn-out chord that's very sweet, kind of romantic in a sense. Tracks I liked throughout, and I mean liked, not necessarily loved, liked throughout, are songs like The Backwards and AWRYEON. The sounds are definitely there. The production is definitely there. Like I said, not too far off from a standard death metal fare, but much noisier, much much just more hectic. The band puts a lot of intensity and puts a lot of energy into their performance. I mean, they're really kind of playing their hearts out until they're just like bursting in their chests and the blood is spurting out everywhere. I like the guitar freakouts on the backwards. I like the fact that these syncopated snare rolls come in and lock in with the guitars. Kind of reminds me of something Liturgy would do, because when you're actually able to breach through the noise and breach through the ugliness, the details, it kind of appears that they didn't put as much effort into that. Much more effort kind of went into this outer shell that makes it difficult to get into that bony skeletal center. There's not much release to a lot of these songs. There are a lot of parts, but there's not much in terms of structure. It's just tension, 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 tension. It's a lot of noise, but still I kind of end up waiting for something to happen, I guess. Though I do like Portal sounds, Vexovoid I just found to be kind of an unrewarding listen to an extent. I mean, it's really kind of like dragging your injured army buddy through 10 miles of swamp just to have him die as soon as you get to shore. Honestly, I guess I'm feeling a strong 4 to a light 5 on this LP. If you've given it a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? And what do you think I should review next? Anthony Fantano, Portal, forever.